Hey guys, it's BW. We're back out in the garage. You can see we got some room. I got the 55 parked around front in the driveway. Just driving that a little bit, you know, putting some miles on it. Gives us some room in the garage because we're going to start back on this Nova. It's time. I've decided, and I've talked about this on my live with a few of you guys. I decided let's get this floor out. All right. You know, yeah, we patched the front. It was like a year and a half ago, maybe, and they're okay. There's nothing wrong with it or anything. But then when we were taking the trunk out, we realized how bad the back was. You guys can see there. There's nothing left underneath where the back seat went, and that's where the perches for the springs go. And they're when I tried, I was just going to do the trunk pan initially and make any patches back here. That was the plan. But when we tried to put the jack stands underneath where the leaf springs go, they went right through the floor. It was that crusty. I mean, truth be told, this car probably should have went to the junkyard, but we're gonna try to save it. Okay. Now there's guys on YouTube. They'll show you how to set up jigs and all this and that, and well, we just don't have that here, and we don't have the space for it anyway. But we're still going to try to do it, and we've taken measurements. We're going to be as careful as we can. I think the car is solid enough now where we can do some stuff like we're going to take the floor out. It's like, so the dash and the firewall has the front holding the car together. We put new wheel tubs in, and we got those welded to the cross package tray, and I think that's okay. And you know, we put the inner quarter patch on there, and we got all that stuff welded down, so I don't think anything's going to move too bad. I could have somebody yelling at the camera right now or the video, yes it will. Well, it might. We're going to find out. I have I've got jack stands underneath the rockers on this side of the pinch weld piece because we're going to be needing access to the pinch weld, so it's just on the rocker. It's not going to dent it, and even if it does a little bit, we're not worried about it. That's just for stabilization, really. I just tapped them under there with a hammer until they were kind of tight and put them on a little angle like this. Our cross piece we put in, that's basically got the weight of the car in the back, and the tires have it up front. Okay, so my plan here is to just take these mounts off of the floor right here. We have bottle jacks holding the subframe. I was going to put wooden blocks under there, but I didn't even jack those up. I just screwed them up until they were tight. That's good enough. That's the same thing as a wooden block as far as I'm concerned, and I have that on both sides. All right, so I just want to unscrew them, and we're going to use those to line the floor back up and get it as lined up as we can, which leads me to another thing. I looked online, and I can't find exact measurements for the floorboard. The one says 76 inches, and that 76 inches seems right because it goes from that lip back there up here to the front of this bubble. And if you look at the pictures online, that's sure what it looks like you're going to get. But I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to cut it like back here at 72 inches. And that way, I want this whole floor out, and I want to get the inner quarter, if that's what you want to call it, or excuse me, the inner rocker piece. I want to get all that surface prepped and ready for the new floor before it's even here. So that's why I want to cut the floor out to that point, get all that fixed up, and then I'll have the floor ordered in. That way, I only have a few inches in the front to cut out when the floor gets here, because I don't have room, guys. I mean, believe it or not, we're filled up. We got both quarter panels up there. We got the tail pan up there. We got both of the frame rails on top of the car. And over there in that shed with the door that needs painted right over there, the trunk floor is actually in there. All right. So we got, and I mean, not only that, the drop downs are in there. Every piece of sheet metal we need is basically here for the bottom half of the car and the sides. I have a funny feeling eventually we're going to need a roof. We'll get into all that later, but it don't matter. We're just kind of chipping away at this, and we buy as we can, and that way it doesn't hurt the pocketbook, and we got a project to keep us busy for a good while. All right, so this is my plan to get the floor cut out. And you know, I know a lot of guys will say, well, you already got the front patched and all that, but like I say, that piece, you can buy that patch piece right there for the back. That's like almost $200. I think I saw it for $189. But then on top of that, on top of the $189, you got to buy the spring perch pockets, and they're like 90 bucks each. All right, so right there, 180, we're about 360. For the incomplete floor is 480 bucks. I think 480 bucks is what I found. Maybe 450. There's a couple different places you can get it. I'm getting the AMD floor. And so I get a new floor for a little bit more money. I know the shipping's going to hit me for about 150. That's okay. It was still going to be like 70 for shipping for all that. So for like 150 to $180 more, I get a brand new floor instead of a Frankenstein floor. Yeah, and to me that's just more appealing, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so let me get set up. Let's get these mounts off of the frame first, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see if we can't get these mounts off. Oh, there we go. Oh, that ain't too bad. Make things go a little easier. I think we're going to use a couple different tools to cut this floor out with. When we get to the bracing area, 100% we're going to want to use I think my Sawzall, because I'm going to cut it in like an inch or so and get the whole floor out, and then after we get the whole floor out, I think then we'll attack the spot welds, you know, so I could sit down inside there and take my time and get the air chisel. And oh man, look at that bushing's not any good anymore. But you know what it's going to be? It's going to be good enough for lining up the other one. All right, let's go around to the other side real quick. That ain't bad at all, guys. Right out of there. I guess I could order new bushings, and we could get them put in there too. But you know, the thing is, guys, once we get rolling on this, the car's going to be in the shop this way for quite a while. You know, we'll get the floors in, and once we get all the lower sheet metal in and get all the quarter panels hung and the tail pan and all that stuff, then we're going to work to get the car to start up. And we're going to back it out. We got to put the rear all back in springs, and we'll back it out, turn the car around, and once I get the car turned around, I'll get my buddy's cherry picker. We got to pull the engine and trans out. We're going to take the subframe itself out at some point, and I'll make a decision then if I want to get components to fix it up or get a new one, you know, a fancy one with like rack and pinion or something. I don't know, man. You know, I got to look and see what's out there. I haven't really thought that far ahead. I just know that I'm not going to put a dirty a dirty frame to a brand new floor. Everything's going to look nice, you know, so that's just thinking ahead and all that stuff. It's going to be one of them long. I thought this was going to be a real hill. Like when I first bought this car, it's what's funny. Dan laughed at me. He said it was going to be a quick project. Well, this thing's been sitting here for a couple of years, you know. It's like, but now we're rolling on it. We will work the job, but and get it done. But it's one of them things, man, where, you know, we do what we can when we can, and we're gonna have a cool car at the end of the day. I mean, we got brand new rockers on there right now, and we got brand new wheel wells, but not much of anything else. So we're just gonna keep rolling along, you know. All right, let me get these bolts, and I'll stick them up on the bench so we don't lose track of them. All right, guys, I feel like the best way to start is with the Sawzall. I'm going to come like 1 inch to 1.5 inches in, and just cut the floor down, cut through the braces and everything. And that way, whenever we get all the center section out, we can sit down inside like I was telling you, and we can clean it out real nice and do a real good job. So let's just, like I said, let's see how it goes. Let me get the power here. I got. It should go fairly quick. I cut the majority of the 55's floor out with a Sawzall when I took that out. We'll see how it goes. I read, just disclosure, I read that the floor comes with all the spots, the mounting points for the seat belts and for the seats. You know, I won't throw the sheet metal out in case I gotta scavenge these brackets. Because I saw where some guys had to, but I think I saw this floor, it might have been Jegs. They say, I read it clear as day, it was all on there. And like I say, all you could do is zoom in on the picture, so we'll hope for the best, I guess. All right, guys, you know, the floor is going to start, you can see it's already coming down on this side. So I'm going to cut down to about the front of the door, then I'll cut over so we could take a section of the floor out. And I think that's for the best. And that way I can kind of stand here and cut forward a little bit. And then, yeah, hey, we'll take it from there. Whatever happens, happens. It ain't like I ever cut a floor out on a Nova. But we will after today, all right? The tail of the transmission's up here, so I think we're okay back through here. So let me just take a quick peek. I'm pretty sure I'm safe there. Oh yeah, we got a ways to go. Shoot, we got lots of room. Swimming. Okay, get this floor out of the way. And you guys can pour this out and let you have a look for yourselves how rotty it was. It's a little easier to see when it's out. Yeah, pull you down off real quick, show you. Yeah, this is where the springs go up through here. You go up into here and everything, the whole frame rail itself, the end down there, when I put the jack stand on it, it crushed right up into it. It was pretty bad. You guys can see here, it's all, I mean, it's like paper thin. It's like, yeah, I could have gone under there. See, you can see where I put my patches on last year, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the weld went through just like it's supposed to. We could have ground that up, and when we got that grounded up, we could have put some seam sealer on there and all that. No big deal, but like I say, when we got to it, and we had to buy this back patch, and then we would have had a patch. And then, guys, this wasn't perfect in here. I selected this the best I could, but you can see, like when I got real close to where I cut out, it was a little rottier than I thought it was. So I think this is 100% the right decision. You guys can see the car really didn't move. All right, so let's finish getting the main body of this floor out, and then we'll take another look real quick. And like I say, it's getting late. I don't want to make too much more noise for too much longer, but we'll get this out, and then tomorrow night we'll come in. Like I said, this evening I can only get a couple hours of work each night, so we'll come out and we'll take all the welds off right here real nice on both sides. We'll sand it, and we'll put a nice 2-3 coats of the weld through primer on there just to protect everything. And as soon as we're ready to paint that, we'll order the floor. Or no, that's not true. When we get one side out, we'll order the floor, because that'll give us a couple days. Believe it or not, they'll get here within 3 days. They don't mess around, man. So we're all right. But like I say, we're gonna cut it short. Remember, we're not gonna cut to the exact mark we think it's going to be. We're going to cut it to where we know we have to cut more out when the floor gets here, but we want to get it close. That way we're not in panic mode and we got the floor out in the rain and all that stuff, because like I say, I just don't have room, guys. I just don't have the kind of room a lot of these shops have. A lot of these YouTubers have these big giant shops, and we got a 20 by 20, and we're going to try to make it happen. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. The camera died. Excuse me, you're pointed down. The only thing you missed, it looked like, I went back and looked. The only thing, I cut both sides. I went in here with the quick cut, and I just cut across the front to cut the rest of the floor out, because we didn't want to scar the transmission or nothing. And then it was just hung up. I thought a cable had it or something, but that wasn't the case. And then when I came around, that's when I noticed you guys shut off. Thank goodness we didn't lose that much, but like I say, you guys missed the part where I cut the front. I cut everything else with the Sawzall, and I cut the front with the disc. Let me find the gloves. I just had them. Took them off to mess. There they are. I took them off to mess around with the camera. It's kind of hard sometimes when I'm filming and working, because if the camera shuts off like that, sometimes I just don't know. I don't know if it overheat or what, but it did something. Pan's out, guys. For 99% of it's out anyway. So let's go inside and take a look together. Let me grab sorry about the bouncing around. Let me grab the flashlight. Let's take a quick look, because I got to clean up, go and get a shower. 4 o'clock in the morning comes early, guys. Uh-oh. We touched something. We just touched the vacuum line. We didn't go through, but we definitely touched it. You guys can see where I cut this out with the grinder straight across. It was ammo. Now that we're inside and you get a better look, I believe this is where the floor has to be cut. Another 4.5 inches up. But we're not worried about that. We're going to leave that till the floor gets here and I get an exact measurement, right? The other thing I'm hoping for, and I think it will, I see where a lot of guys bring the floor in through the back window. I'm kind of waiting to take the windows out. I'm getting new glass anyway, but I mean, I was trying to wait because that's a good indicator. If you break that, you're done. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's a joke. Anyway, so tomorrow night we'll come out and we'll have our air chisel. We're going to locate all the spot welds and we'll get all this off and clean that up nice, right? Same thing on the other side. And you guys can see where this floor pan didn't quite fit this patch and I had it welded on the top. I couldn't get my head and helmet underneath the car on the ramp. I think I'm going to be able to in here, but in case I'm not, I'll just put 3 or 4 tacks up top, and whenever we turn the car around, I'll jack the front up and I'll weld the front in. That could be down the road, it don't matter, right? So we're just rolling along. All right, this is where we're at for the night. We're gonna leave it. All right, don't worry, I'll bring you guys along tomorrow for a little bit. I might do one side or half of one side to get a good system down, because nobody wants to watch BW take 100 spot welds out. But we're gonna follow the project right along, right guys? All right, we'll pick this up tomorrow. Okay guys, it's the next day and we've been working on getting these side remnants off of the inner rockers. Show you real quick. We did the driver's side last night, or excuse me, the passenger side last night, and we're working on the driver's side now. I was just showing you, you got to take the bracket off first. This is the remnant of the bracket. It's like where the spring pocket, start of the spring pocket bracket, and we have to get that off because behind that, up into the floor, there's spot welds up in there. So I'm just getting this off, and once I get it off, we'll come in here with a flapper wheel, clean everything up. I may take a wire wheel. I want to clean some of these welds up. They were kind of a weird angle to try to weld them with the floor in here, but now with the floor out, I can sit down in here because they're strong. They're just kind of ugly, and I'm gonna straighten everything up. What's Bad Chad call it? Tighten right. We'll tighten right everything. But I just wanted to pop in real quick and show you guys what I got going on here. All right. Okay, guys. We got the driver's side and the passenger side all out. Got all the metal off. We just touched it with a sander just to look for any rust or anything. There's a tiny bit right there, but nothing to worry about. I'm gonna go in and order the floor, and then I'll spend the next day or so off camera. I mean, I'm just going to put little weld repairs to where I drilled in a hair too far, sand them, and then we'll get this coated real nice with weld through primer. And same thing on this side. All right, and I'm going to wire wheel up here, and I'm going to clean those welds up real nice too. And then, you know, when the floor gets here, the only thing we got left, I think, is the last 4 inches or so of floor to take out. And you guys know I didn't want to risk that, you know, cutting too much. So we're going to wait till the floor gets here and get accurate measurements. You can see where I got the tape. That's kind of where the dip down for the floor is. I started sanding and I lost the line for like the from like here back. but I just kind of guesstimated it. We got the line here and here, so that's going to be good. I just needed a reference point. I do have lines scribed back there for where the floor ended, right up there, and down through there as well. And those are just guides for us to go by. All right, so it went pretty smooth, but like I say, I'm just going to, excuse me, I'm just going to do, like I said, make any necessary weld repairs where I drilled in a little too far off camera. We'll get it weld-proof primered, and then when I get the floor here, I'll start the next video, bring you guys in, show you what I did and all the prep work that went into the inner rockers, and we'll put the floor in together in the next video. All right, so that's what we got going on over here at PW's Garage. I hope you guys liked the video. It was fun to make. If you haven't yet, why don't you think about subscribing? It doesn't cost you guys anything, and it sure does help me. So until next time, take care, everybody.